Hey everybody, Sam Birch here, and I don't know how to really say if this is a tutorial or anything that I'm really showing. It's just people here recently have been asking me how I make my masks and whatnot. Well, I'm going to show a technique that I kind of came up with, and I call it Frankensteining. And it's basically sometimes where it's like I'll have a mask that's like old, like an old Halloween mask I've had, and like it's still in good condition, but like a few parts are broke off, or it's like broken and needs repaired, or like some parts replaced. I mean, a prime example is my Hush Little Dead one. It's like 3 masks in one. I had this like old baby doll face mask, and where the eyes like all opened up, that's actually where one of the pieces fell out of it. The bottom lip and jaw area was basically busted out. Like it didn't even have much of a bottom jaw. That's why it looks like the teeth and stuff. And I mean, I had a couple old skull matte face masks that I had that came with like these cheap airsoft guns I bought, and I used them to make the skull, the teeth texture and stuff and whatnot. I mean, that's what I call Frankenstein. It's just where I take parts of masks that I like, or the shape, or from, like, for example, this night mask that I have right here. I'm going to use it for a base because I don't have a studio or anything like that, but I feel like, you know, using something for a base is like always where how you start with anything. And I mean, am I wrong? I mean, that's how you always start with any projects, with a base. And like, I seen this at Spirit Halloween. I nabbed it up for $10, and I was like thinking, well, what am I going to do with it? And I kind of came up with this concept of like, I like the shape. I don't really like the detail and stuff, nor the eyes. I tried this mask on and it was a little tight, but I was actually happy with that because it fit me well, but just a little bit too snug. So I know when I'm building this thing up and putting more clay on it and sculpting onto it, and basically just using this as an armature, if you may please, to build up and sculpt. Some other parts that I'm using, I found these devil horns. I want to use them. I'm not the world's best sculptor, but like if I have a good base, like an armature sort of to work with, where I'm not working with just solid clay, but like something like to like start up as a base and then sculpt what I want onto it, I can do pretty good. I'm using this for like bases and whatnot. And then I found this devil mask right here, and I really like it for quite a few good concepts. I love the way the horns curve. The detail's not too bad, but I'm going to touch it up with my own little technique. And it has the headpiece and all that right there. And I was like thinking, I'm going to make like some type of like Hellspawn Knight. That's the idea of what I'm going to try to turn this mask into. So like, I literally look ridiculous because I was like in Party City doing this. Like, I'm not doing this exactly, but I mean, if you look at the horns, could you imagine a knight with this kind of horn setup on it? That'd be pretty freaking sweet. And that's what I love about it. The face part's not too bad, but really honestly, when you look at it, it just doesn't go well with the helmet. I'm thinking of doing like a skull or something, almost like the icon of Sin, in a way, like a deer skull almost, like onto this. I'm going to see how it looks once I get the horns and stuff attached to it and have this thing dismantled and actually further more progress to doing this. I'm just showing you like the Frankenstein parts. I'm literally going and buying these masks, taking them apart and putting different things on this mask as my base and just building it up from there. So this is the first time I've ever done something like this as big, like as a big project, to be really honest. I'm really, excited to see where it goes. I can't wait to see how it looks finally. I mean, we're doing the whole process. I'm talking from sculpting to molding to first pull of the cast. And I mean, this is all a progress video I'm working on. So like, I'll be uploading these like whenever I have time to work on it. But yeah, so I mean, I'm looking at this mask right now and I'm just kind of like looking. I gotta take some things into key detail. First off is where the helmet sits when it's down. I'm going to kind of like mark this mask so I know, because this will be key when I'm sculpting the extra clay on here and I'm making this a little bit thicker. I do have to take into consideration of the portion size that will be changed different once I have the clay on the mask, this main part and this part. So I gotta make sure that I keep that little bit of a linear flow between this mask and the second face plate right here. So like right now, as you can see, I marked it, and that's just letting me know that this is when it's shut down. And then when you go up, and this is like all the way up, you know, you can actually decide, but really honestly you want it like this. I'm gonna put it right here, and I'm gonna put it right here. And what this just does is it just shows me the flow of traffic that goes into between these two parts. So when I'm sculpting this, I know, okay, I gotta kind of keep this bare right here. So like, really honestly, all I have is like this much room to really sculpt with. But I mean, I have a pretty good concept of what I'm gonna do with it at the same time. So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, the next thing will be to dismantle this. This is gonna be kind of hard because it's held on with snaps. Yeah, snaps. Like little rivet snaps. But I'm pretty sure I can just pop these off with a flathead screwdriver with no problem. So guess we'll be doing that. Alrighty everybody, so I separated the mask. I separated my mask from the face plate from the mask. So now it is two separate pieces. I ended up having to cut the rivets out. I couldn't pop it with a screwdriver because I was afraid I was gonna break this. This mask's not the most sturdiest. I mean, I don't know how to really put it. It's kind of like trash can plastic, kind of that flexibility. But I mean, once I do my smooth on cast, it'll be a lot sturdier. I mean, if anyone who's watching this and has bought one of my masks, I'll have a link to my store down below. But like, a lot of people say that the masks I make feel sturdy. They're not as flimsy as like these Halloween masks. I mean, this is why I do what I do, because it's like Halloween masks are great, but they're just so cheap about it. But it makes sense in marketing value. But yeah, I got this separated. So what I'm really gonna have to do is I'm gonna basically prep up these horns, because they need they're soft, and I'm a little worried, like with them being on the helmet and stuff, they're not gonna stay sturdy. So when I do the cast of this mask, I'm afraid that they might like get weighed and sort of fall down. So I'm gonna fill this with some expanding foam. They have nice little holes right there to, I can put the nozzle in there and spray some foam in there and let it fill up, and then this will become more of a solid, sturdy piece. I mean, these horns aren't too bad. They're pretty solid and they're smaller, so they're not gonna need as much. I might not even put foam in them. So really honestly, I'm just gonna get things prepped up and kind of just look over and see how things fit. Hey everybody, so I got the horns cut out. Unfortunately, the spray foam I had was a defect, but I'm not gonna waste money getting more of it. So right about now, I'm just gonna kind of look at it, see how it looks with the horns on it. I got some molding clay, because that's what's gonna hold the horns to the mask. But before I do that, I'm just gonna basically just cover this whole mask with this monster clay I got, and sort of give it a surface to work with, and then I'm going to start doing details and putting stuff together. So I guess once in a while when I take breaks, I'll give updates. Alrighty everybody, so I basically put a base of monster clay on this mask. Sort of went through and started adding detail and whatnot. I still got a lot of ways to go, but I just wanted to show you the main design. So far of what I've done, as you can see, I've implicated both sets of horns. I decided to put both sets of horns on the face plate because when I was designing this, the horns just like, I was gonna put the little horns like up here and stuff, but it just, I don't know, it didn't look good for me. It just, I don't know, it kind of looked ridiculous. Because when you look up like demons and stuff, it usually goes biggest to smallest forward. You know, like the bigger horns are in the back and the small horns are up front. But then I sort of added some details. I decided to add a fin to this. This is the main helmet. But yeah, I added some details. Like this is supposed to be a helmet for a knight or something. It's just kind of my own design. It doesn't look so great because I'm still doing detail work on it. I was just wanting to show you. Most of this is just like a rough draft. I'm probably going to go through here and sort of soften the edges or sharpen them up, or, you know, sort of touch up the details. But, I mean, this is kind of the rough draft, but there's the main mask. There you go. So yeah, like I said before, the idea was kind of making this look like a knight's helmet, but like from hell or something like that. And that's what I came up with, this concept, is just with this two horns up front, two horns to the side like that. Just an easy concept. It don't, unfortunately, because the weight of this and whatnot, the mask won't sit up there, so I can't really get any good angles and stuff what this mask looks like complete. If I do get some pictures of it later on, I'll just post it. But there you go. So there it is. So I mean, this is basically how it all starts off when I do masks and stuff. I usually use something as a base and then I just kind of like go with it. You know, that's how it works for me. I don't have a shop or anything like that, so like I don't have like the armatures to make, but usually if I can find something that, you know, is halfway built and I can build upon it, like that knight's helmet, and then just sort of add these horns and stuff. That's what I call Frankensteining it. It's where you put parts of masks and props together and kind of make your own thing. There it is, all the details. I really like the eyebrow ridge I give this thing, because I was trying to like go for a demon look, but like, you know, kind of like a skull of a demon is being made used for this faceplate, but put some long jagged teeth just for decoration look. Like I said, I got a lot of detail to go over with this mask and touch it up and put some finer points, but I mean, you know, that's the part of sculpting. I like to do a rough draft where I kind of throw it together, but in the end, when I actually put the effort of like putting the detail and all that back into it, making it look a lot better, you'll see how much better it'll look once it's a finished product, whatnot. So yeah, I think this will be the end for part 1. The next part will probably be casting, and I use smooth on casting for this, but like I said, this is the end for part 1 of how I make masks and whatnot, my technique. So I hope you all like this, enjoy, and have a nice day.